Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 6. Today we'll just concentrate on the driver's seat there, and then once we know where that sits, we can sort of put the roll cage in and know that we're not going to compound any problems there. So let's get stuck into it. So I'll be using the same Racetech seat like we got fitted to the old XD Falcon, and it's interesting, it's really clear when you have a look down the sides. You can see how much bigger the Falcon is from the Mustang. And what we've got here is we've got some channel that's welded to the floor, and we welded some studs up through that channel. So Zenick and I, we have different size, we're the same height, but I'm all legs and arms, he's all torso, so we've got to make a few changes, and we need a system that's easily movable. Like this seat's the best seat I've ever put in as far as moving it around and stuff like that. We'll get this unwrapped shortly, but first thing, as soon as we put that in, and it's obvious, is we've got a lot less room to work with to get this same size seat in the Mustang. And while that's a little bit of a problem, it's part of, we also knew this, we've selected the 66 Mustang because it's a smaller car. So really at this stage, we're just going to experiment with these brackets, bolting them on a few different ways. Unlike the old Falcon, we've got the bolt holes on the inside. Now that technically might make things just a little bit fiddly, but if we space that up off the floor just a little bit, it mightn't be too difficult to get a few nuts onto it. Obviously getting into the back of this thing is going to be a bit of a challenge, so we've got to be a little bit careful there, but let's drop it in the car and see how close things work now. Definitely need to get that seat left, and I would say left a good 50-60 mil. So I've measured up where this seat sits in relationship to the steering wheel, the floor, and I've just taken a few other measurements, such as the distance from the floor to the roof and the sill panel to the tunnel, just to try and get an idea of this seating position which is set, so we can transfer that back to the Mustang. Really all we need to worry about is the floor to the seat base is going to be 30 inches. I've got our 30 inches from the floor. Proportionally, that looks a lot better. Now we can mark our tunnel, and we're going to have to move that in to find about 50 millimeters. And then that'll also give us the ability to pull this bracket, flip that around, and we'll work out what we can do with the other side. If we can actually swing them outwards as well, it makes moving the seat a heap easier. So we'll get it marked up and we'll go from there. have another look. You see now I've actually also measured the brake pedal center point from the floor, so how high it is, and also the seat base to the brake pedal. So that's also going to be key information when we go to fit the pedal box. So now we've decided to move it back 125 mil or 5 inches. So floor to seat base is 25 in the Falcon. We're moving everything back 5 inches, so it's 30. So let's have a look now. We've cut that section out so that seat can actually move into that void, which is perfect. Now we want 30 inches, and we've got that. And if you have a look at the inner sill, we now are able to get the room required to flip those brackets on the seat outwards. And then if we have a look in here, we've also got room to do the same. So obviously we're going to have to bend up like a 90-degree piece of plate, and we'll have to fully weld that in. And we'll revert back to what we're doing with the Falcon, with some bolts welded through some channel, and then the channel will get welded to the floor, and to keep it straight we'll fabricate a little leg if we need to keep the seat base all square. But now, seat's in position, and it doesn't hit the door. Let's get noisy again. This is pretty close to where the seating position ends up, with 30 inches back from the firewall of the top of the seat. We've got the brackets, so they're not under the seat now. This side will be really easy. You can see the transmission tunnel section out, and now we've got the seat leg sitting there, and we've also got a little bit of 50x20 that we will we'll actually mount the seat bracket off. And we've got some 20x20 there just to check to see how it all sits up. The brackets are on the outside of the seat. Able to get quick access to them. 30 inches to the floor, that's what we calculated, so that's 5 inches further back than the Falcon. And we'll have to replicate that with the pedal box and the steering wheel. Now we're able to close the door, and there's enough clearance to the seat there, so proportionally as well. That seat's sitting pretty much where we need it. So now what we'll do, we'll make up the floor brackets and get welded to the floor to actually accept that seat there. this seat bracket's made up. I'm gonna have to work this little area just a little bit in here so that it's the same height. And we've welded the studs in, so just undoing the nut from the top is all that's required to move the seat forward or backwards. We'll put the seat in it now and just see how it squares up. Backside 30 inches. And now we've finally got the clearance we need with the side of the seat and the door. Shut the door in like that. We've got good clearance. That's it. That's where the seat goes. We're just going to reconfigure our pedal box here. We're going to remove the little spaces. Our idea is when we mount it on the 45, like it would go in the firewall, the pedals are a little bit too far forward. So we're going to remove these, and that will bring the pedal closer and suit our installation a lot better. Right, the seating position's now set, and we've also got we've just got the P Racing pedal box positioned at the top, and we've set the height where we'll create a mounting bracket to mount the bottom of it. And we've also made sure that we've got the stroke right, so they call for a little bit of clearance at the end. And if you can see that, the pedal stops are there, so the stops are there, so you don't bottom out on the bottom of the master cylinder, do any damage there. And I've got a very little amount of clearance. I've been able to get the seat across into the position we need. So that was one thing we had to take care of before we fitted the roll cage. Hey guys, that's a wrap for today. Seating positions finalised, as is the pedal box. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate the shares and likes. We'll keep you posted.